Welcome to the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi After the Show podcast.
You know, we touched on house hushing today in the show, and it was
First time I've ever heard that term, by the way.
I mean, I hope I'm saying it correctly, but I read about it and I was fascinated, and it's that way of clearing clutter that I have never heard of before, and that is you take one room and you take everything out of it that's non-essential. So a bedroom example would be you leave the bed, you leave the nightstand. And maybe a dresser, and that's all. And then for 24 hours, you test how it feels. And after 24 hours, then you bring things back in. And most likely, you're not going to bring everything back in. You realize what you don't need and how it feels to be in that sort of a clear space.
After 24 hours, if you feel great, just don't bring anything back in?
Well, no, it's up to you. It's personal. I mean, there's no wrong way to do it, but it's just it's a 24-hour test of how different you can feel about a space and a room.
If you're putting it in a closet, just leave it there.
Yeah.
But it's, we all have the constant sort of, I say we all, most people have the clutter, dilemma because we also get attached to things.
Yeah. Even like, I know Murphy said y'all are kind of minimalist, but I'm definitely a minimalist. And even that still gets cluttered.
Sure. Because we have things and we're attached to things and you're given things and you want to display, you want to decorate your spaces. And to decorate, you have to have things. Yeah. That's why I brought it back up. I'm not suggesting that we house hush, Murph, at all.
I guess I'm going to have to Google this. If you don't know why it's called house hushing,
no,
it's just weird. Is that like the new trendy term? So here it is. Yes, it is a trend. Simplifying your spaces to create a quieter, more peaceful, tranquil home environment by removing visual and mental noise. And the noise
That's what it is. When you have too much stuff in a room, it screams at you, does it not? Yeah. It is noise. Okay, now I really like it, house hushing. But I don't bring it back up. I don't think that we need to do it even in the family room. I wouldn't want to remove everything. Like, I can look and know what I want to remove.
But picking one room and just focusing on it, I just love the concept. It reminds me that, pick a weekend and do it. Yeah.
But I bring it back up because when we were talking about this in the show, you said, and Sam, you just referenced it, that Murphy, you were like, I really like the way, Jodi's done the house and it's very minimal.
Yes.
It was not always that way. And there are certain times in your life when it almost can't be that way.
When our kids were young, you make peace with it because even though you want them to pick up and clean after, it's got to be lived in.
I remember, this reminds me of an afternoon we had worked, we had done a show. I had picked up Taylor. Phoebe wasn't even born yet. I picked up Taylor from daycare and I brought her home, and my Uncle Terry wanted to come visit. And you were still at work, Murphy, and he came into our very small house. I don't remember how many square feet, but we had a pretty small house.
1,400.
There you go. And Taylor was little, and there was stuff everywhere. Not only was it a small space with our stuff, but her stuff. And, she was 2 years old, and there's toys and just things everywhere. And when he came in, I was apologetic. Once he sat down, I remember saying, I'm sorry it's such a mess in here. I just got back from work, and he was smiling at me. He let me sort of finish apologizing for the mess and the clutter, and he was smiling, and he finally just said, this is how I love a house. Yeah. This is I miss my home being this way. This is what a family home is. Kid noises, kid things. It's beautiful.
Yeah. It is. And I experienced that the other day, too, with somebody that we knew, and their kids are, 5 and 3, walking into their house, and, the toys were around, and it's a happy feeling. It's not a mess.
The house
it's
of
fun.
Life.
Yes.
Right, a house of life. Now, it's not as happy. That the mom and dad in that house, or the parent in that house, is feeling the noise, the visual and mental noise of all that stuff. So that's the beauty of trying to realize it's beautiful in its own way. And it won't always be that way. They will learn to pick up their things. There will be fewer things. You can, as the parent, box up some of those things. And what's cool about that a kid is box it up and then bring it out again in 6 months. And it's like they've got new
Brand
stuff.
New.
Yeah. So I'm glad that you love the way, and I do love the way our home is now. I pick it up constantly. We have a bigger home now. We graduated to that, and there's not the kids aren't there with all their stuff.
Bigger home with less people.
Yeah. So of course it's easy for you to it's easier for it to be that way.
Yeah.
And I love it, and we've sort of earned that, but it doesn't have that happy mental noise. No.
When I'm a neat freak. I'm really a neat freak.
Yeah, Sam.
And when we first had kids, it's like, I had that was a big adjustment for me.
In your mind.
Yeah, but then when I got to the point of this is not going to be this way forever, just it's fun right now. Just deal with it.
It's something for younger families to remember.
Yeah.
If you're looking at stuff on Pinterest and you're like, man, I want my living room to look like that, but it just can't because there's a Barbie house in the middle of it and a dog that just ran through and knocked it over, so be it.
And honestly, you should enjoy that clutter while you can, because when it's gone.
Yeah. Those bright colored, beautiful things that used to mean the world are, and some of them, the ones we kept, Murphy, are stuffed in a guest bedroom closet. There's that little area of that closet where the toys that I kept that I've kept for one day.
Sounds like you got to hush that room now.
Yeah.
That's a sweet place to go through, too, when you open those little boxes and see Legos and all that. Yeah, you're right. I think it's, the whole house hushing thing is probably just, it's about context.
Yes, it is.
Your kitchen's probably still going to be clean while the rest of your house is insane, while the kids are, doing what they do. And, there are going to be toys everywhere, and that's a beautiful thing.
While we were talking about it, we were trying to describe house hushing. We focused on that. But for you to have thrown out that comment that our house is nice and minimalist and things are where they're supposed to be, that's the way it is now. That is not realistic for when you've got little ones. And I just wanted to shout that out for all the families and all the mental noisy rooms that you may be living in right now.
Yeah.
Missed any part of the show? Get it all on the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi podcast.